6 hours of workout, lifting radios, transmitters, test equipment. What's fun? Isn't that right, EBO? Anyway, I was going to talk about a topic that came up, Tesla's logo. I'll tell you what I know. Okay, way back in the 80s, okay. I met through my friend, Stan Rejek, who actually is my friend. And he was taking care of, he works, actually, I should back up here. He works for Amex Salvage. I don't know, I was trying to contact Bill McDonald as well as Stan, but I was not lucky through the internet yet. But the thing is, Tesla, because Stan and Mr. Turner were looking after, somebody else was involved in that too. No, go away, Bill. Thanks. No. Looking after Thomas Lee Richardson, who I met in the 80s. We became good friends, and I would go to his home on 20th Street in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, okay? And he visited my lab, and he said it reminded him of Tesla's lab, okay? Now, I wrote this stuff up and posted on change.org, Tesla's missing papers. Well, Thomas had books and Tesla's papers and actual furniture, wherever he got that from. I don't know the full story, but Thomas gave me a book he published on Tesla, as well as a medallion he struck in memory of Tesla, plus some other papers, which I have. He was also rewriting O Canada. He gave me the originals, and I might have the original papers or something, I don't know. But again, papers and I are kind of allergic. Yeah, I'm allergic to papers. Because I took all my documents, papers, and threw them in airtight garbage container in the other storage down the hill here. Another container that we own, and I put them in there because I will go through them, but I find it very nauseating and boring to go through it. But I will try and get out stuff that somebody would need and can publish it and make it not secret. But anyway, Thomas passed away. Steve Turner, the other gentleman, and Stan and myself and one other person were trying to save contents of his house because it's very important, being Tesla. Tesla's stuff in the house. And we failed in doing that because the provincial government closed it all off until they find, I might have that letter too, until they find relatives. And they found relatives in the United Kingdom, and it was all shipped off to UK, and I was told by Canta Realty on Granville Street, Vancouver, British Columbia, a long time ago in the 80s, of course. And Stan wanted to save all that too, and so Steve Turner and the other fella. But Thomas Lee Richardson loved talking to Jack Webster, host of a TV show in Vancouver. And Thomas Lee had a box of audio tapes, probably a couple of hundred audio tapes. He was showing them to me, and he was playing them too because we went on a picnic. So I remember it was a boat. Wow. So I'd visit, when I was going to Satellite Electronics on Main Street, I'd go visit Thomas Lee Richardson, because I would spend my time at Satellite Electronics on Main Street. Peter Sikora, the proprietor, I'd buy stuff and make deals and things like that. I travel by bicycle sometimes too, and carry some of these heavy things around on my bicycle. How crazy, but I did. Ha! Wow! And I was with Billy Ross in the same area too. Billy Ross was a friend of mine. He was transgender. Finally got his operation. I think later on I met Ian. Then when was that? 87, 80, I don't know, but that's when I met Roland Brito, same from Germany, and we all decided I should come to Germany for a while. And Dr. Peter Kokoschnik sent me a letter of invitation. I have that letter too, and I did go to Germany, and I lived there for 2 years. Getting back, everything kind of changed after 2 years of Vancouver Connections, friends, and all that, and plus the media. And the media was doing the story on a levitation device that was put in storage. Headlines were secret ministry builds secret storage site. Headline news, for Pete's sake. Because some of the things contained polychlorinated biphenyls, and they seized all that stuff. But gave me back stuff that didn't have PCBs in it. Which, at that time, I got rid of it, sold it off. It was stored in my sister's garage. And I kind of regret selling all that off, plus all my guns. I just got down to one duffel bag, and I was going to go off to Germany. Live in Belzig University area, a town called Belzig. Ian showed up, and we went off to. She found the apartment that was full of electronics, and Ian and I went off to I went off to Germany, Austria, while Ian was working on a motion picture. But anyway, getting back to the main theme of Tesla. So Thomas, Stan took care of Thomas, drove him to the store, drove him around, introduced me and any other people involved in this whole situation with Tesla. There was some other folks, and I can't remember the names. I got their letters and all that stuff. Then with Ian, she got an apartment. I bought from Fair Radio several tons of stuff. And I put it in storage in the apartment complex. Lincoln Manor, it was called. And when Ian went off to India, wow, I pulled all that stuff out and then I converted the apartment into the Hutchison Effect lab. Plus I was working on the warships, four warships, 5 years of fun doing that. So anyway, just wanted to make sure that I mentioned this stuff about Thomas Lee Richardson. And somebody else was involved who gave me a copy of the Colorado Spring Notes. Edna Drake and the other fella. And I wonder if Edna's still alive, and her husband. It was somebody from overseas. See, my mind should remember everything it normally does. I have to look through my documents. Whoop, what's going on here? I'm flipping around. Anyway, he had a lot of Tesla stuff that was copied from Colorado Spring Notes, as well as the autobiography. I didn't introduce him to Thomas. I don't think I met Thomas yet. Whoa, that's a long time ago. Very early 80s. Okay, so then I met Mel Winfield, who claimed to have contacts somewhere that knows Tesla, but knew Tesla, but I don't really believe it. Because Mel likes to brag, and he's like a Donald Trump type character. But he appears on a TV show in Northern Mysteries, Hutchison Effect, and talks about me. But anyway, back to Tesla. So anyway, I'm going around in circles, aren't I? So it's quite interesting. time I had with Thomas Lee Richardson. He's very friendly, very kind gentleman, very old gentleman as well, quite old. I think he died of old age, but I have his house address and phone number written down somewhere. But anyway, but hopefully Bob Grainer, Martin Fleischman will find more information. He's got many connections, and hopefully that helps him out in his work and research, and others out in their research. Because Tesla in the early '80s was not that popular, and whoever heard of him at that time, but I heard of him through that gentleman from um, Yugoslavia with Edna Drake and friends. Wow! But I read like my dad's encyclopedias and all that stuff. I found a lot of scientists when I was a kid, names and that. So that's what I did for relaxation, was read encyclopedias, because my dad was branch manager for Collier's Encyclopedia Company, Western Canada. He got an offer to go to New York and be for the USA representative of Collier Encyclopedias. He had every amazing books, Who's Who, and also all kinds of books. Anyway, so that was my entertainment besides listening to radio hit songs. Hit songs. The radio was always going. I had a lot of mentors as well, up to present times actually. But just wanted to go off on a tangent on Tesla, what I know and what I experienced. Quite interesting though, for me anyway. So then my odd connection with Prince Hans Adam Liechtenstein and his cousin Alfred von Liechtenstein, who I met in public or in person. Hans Adam is always letters, cards and letters. So, as I mentioned, I should write him, tell him the latest news. I usually do. It's been a busy couple of years. So, anyways, the logo. I think it was at One Solar or something like that, and Alex Pizarro used it as well in the Ferris Technologies presentation. I got a white nose or what? I don't know what that is. It looks kind of funny. Maybe too much bright light or something. What? But anyway, I just wanted to cover that. Make it clear. Also, I'll mention to Timmy Ventura, who watches my videos once in a while. You can come and film if you want. If you say towards fall time, I'll be pretty well, probably in operation again. But it takes a long time to get a lab running again. It's always getting the stuff, positioning, everything. Position is very important in this crazy stuff. Because of field strength and all that, interactions. So what do I do when I'm listening to radios and things? I'm listening for static patterns that I create myself and RF patterns. And I feel like the zones where I think something would happen, but it's tedious. A lot of times nothing happens. But I'm really not interested in free energy or anti-gravity or any of that stuff anymore, but I like doing weird things like that. I like to get an atomic clock and see if I can affect it, because there's a doctor, Mallet, who is using a circular system of lasers to distort time. I wonder how far he got. There was a TV show on him too. But anyway, I should shut up and get going. And so So I'm wishing all luck to Bob. He's getting the book. He found a copy of it somewhere. But, my interest is machinery, machine tools, vintage electronics, electrical machinery, cannons, firearms, machine tools. What's all vintage? Everything seems to be with me is vintage because it's well made. It's very well made stuff a long time ago. I have no interest in plastic things. If it's plastic, I normally throw it out. Second, okay, I'll buy aluminum made things, but I prefer solid brass made things. And steel and iron. That's just the way I am. Anyway, I should get going. I'm another cigarette. I'm winding down from all the exercise. I got 6 hours of lifting 100-pounders up on the shelves, and my endorphins are going, wow! So, can I get an endorphin rush from this stuff? I've been doing lifting things, though, for a long time. Wow, and my apartment is proof of that. I mean, Jesus Christ almighty, excuse my language, but wow, talk about a nut I am. Lathes and machine tools, oh, they're fun to move too. I moved that 4-ton lathe, okay. Oh, no problem. You just take your time and you use proper tooling and you lift it up and you move it an inch. This cargo containers, I don't know how many tons is in there now, but I bought jacks, hydraulic jacks, tow jacks, and machinery moving wheels, which really helped me out. So I got that in there, and I use jacks to position it. You just do it to kind of relax, you know, you know, whatever. It'll happen someday, so it's fun. My first lathe was a Warner and Swayze turret lathe, which was delivered by crane, and I moved it on a big plank I put under the seat, and rollers, and slowly moved it into my basement apartment in Linden Valley, 1458 East 29th. Then Convoy Electrical Machinery gave me many-ton transformer, and I was moved with it. Slowly with things I had, like crowbars and other crazy stuff. But anyway, that's where an anti-gravity machine is very handy. Nothing's impossible, remember? The biggest thing I got to help move was a generator on one of the warships. It was 8 tons, and I made the wheels to put underneath it to roll it on several I-beams out of the ship, where they put a hole in the ship and got it out on the beams, and the crane came along and picked the thing up. That was hail-bop time, for Pete's sake. It was about 2 a.m. and when we wrapped up, I went up the hill and went back to bed. I went to bed, had fun. Went back to work the next day through the chips. Nothing like come-alongs and greasy metal. I put a pair of vice grips on the 3-inch 50s, where I took part of them apart and exposed a gear system, and I could do this and I slowly raise the guns up like that and down. I love being physically active all the time. Oh, very physically active today, I tell you. But I have been many times before. I'm putting all that machinery in there. Let's say the cannons in the other container. That's fun too. Johnny's a happy mover. They gotta move things. Anyway, I talked about today Tesla and some of my crazy junk I do. Got a good workout. Woohoo! Some of my stuff's pretty heavy, and I got it pretty high up there too. About what is that, 8 feet? Radio gear. I have a friend back east, this young fellow, from what I can tell. He's just like me. He does the same stuff. He encompasses a lot more things. And I buy it once in a while on eBay from him, and that's how I met him, on eBay. And we talk by Skype a few times. But he's a very nice guy. I mean, if he was my neighbor, we'd be at the scrapyard finding stuff. I love scrapyards. I spend all day in them. To the point where Leo, the owner, who got killed actually, or murdered, of North Star Salvage, I was in a scrapyard during wintertime, snow, and he went up to me and said, okay, you gotta take a rest. Here's some hot rum. Put me down by the old stove that was burning rubber and junk. He said, take it easy, no rush, you don't like burn yourself out. I said, okay, thanks, Leo. I had the rum and kind of warm, and went on my, I guess I went on my merry way and paid off Leo. Years later, I think his son took over North Star Salvage. When year was that? God, I don't know. The last time I was at North Star Salvage, when I was doing Ark of the Covenant Revealed, a TV show for Discovery Channel. We filmed there. Wow. And then MB Superior Metals. I hung out there a lot too, in Capital Salvage. Good friends. Anyway, I should shut up and get going, because it's going on and on and on and on and on and on. I guess I got an endorphin high, huh? Yeah, endorphin high. Winding down from exercise. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that's me. Little Johnny Cupcake. You must see how crazy I am. Look up the apartment. How does it affect the apartment? Oh, it's on YouTube. Somebody else filmed the apartment too. It's Michael McCardle and Paul Stabakowski. That's one of the hosts. Then Fox TV was Star Trek's #1. Jonathan Frakes. That was a long time ago, 2000, I think. Ghost Best Evidence Caught on Tape. So they filmed me and all my stuff. They did a lot of filming and lighting too. Well, Jonathan Frakes, Star Trek, was the host, and produced by Robert Kiviat of Fox TV. And he might want to come around too. So anyway, I'm gonna go. So take care. Hope that helps.